You better be in the house when them street lights come on. Ain't that what your mama used to tell you? But I bet you when she told you to stay out the streets, she had no idea that the YouTube streets would take over the world. Uncle Juice, public figure Boogie, Baby Down So Raw, Detroit Gossip, and the most dangerous voice in Detroit, Dogface TV.
Bitch, I talk more shit than Dogface.
They running shit from coast to coast. Welcome to the Danger Zone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dogface Calderon. This is Dogface Calderon. This is real life unfiltered. This is a new thing. This is the first time my arch nemesis have joined me on a new platform because I'm broadcasting from Real Life Street Stars.
Yeah, I was here when we was live with the Trackhawk too.
Really?
Yeah.
You're so easy to forget, Henny.
Did you know what? That's why I ain't been back up here, because you're real forgettable.
Hey, listen, Henny is in the motherfucking building, so you know what that means. That means that listen.
Y'all don't have to look at his ugly face all night. You can look at this.
Yes. No. Hey, Henny Gang is in the building. When the Henny Gang is, hey, listen, Henny Gang, y'all can get mad at me right now. It's Pooh Shiesty is on the menu. Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Man is on the menu. So I need the Henny Gang. Listen, let me talk to the Henny Gang. I need y'all to go find information about us, because this Pooh Shiesty Gucci Man thing, it is a fast-moving, multi-layer situation. So if you're a part of the Henny Gang, tell us about what the breaking news is so we can talk about it. We already have the transcripts. We already have the complaint. We already have news clippings. But if you're in the Henny Gang or if you're in a dog pound.
I was about to say, why you picking on the Henny Gang? What about the dog pound?
I'm not, the Henny Gang, listen, see, the dog pound is a bunch of criminals. On the flip side of that, the Henny Gang are a bunch of professional, well thought out, well researched human beings.
Look at that.
Yes. That girl Henny's in the building. What's up, Henny? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me back over here.
Lord have mercy. So listen, Henny, they always talk about YouTubers, podcasters. They always talk about how we're in other people's business. We don't mind our own business. We don't have lives. We're always talking about what's going on in the world of entertainment. Hey, listen, if it not be for us, who would entertain you people? If it
not to cut you off, but not only that, if it wasn't for us, who would really give you the real? I mean, some people get it wrong. Some people exaggerate it.
Right.
But we're the only ones that are really giving it to y'all real. And why they don't say that to quote unquote legacy media? Don't they be in everybody's business, from civilians to politics?
They absolutely.
And anything in between?
So
what's the difference?
There is no difference, but they like to make it a difference. They like to make it a difference. They can make it a difference. So look at this, death of a cloud chaser. Pontiac, I told you they were saying that, hey, death of a cloud chaser. Hey, Chuck.
Why is Chuck in here?
I don't know. Hey, Chuck. Hey, let me help you, Chuck. Chuck, I'm rich. So the people you're talking about, Chuck, who were saying Pontiac, let them have that, Chuck. I'm not going to.
Guess what? He's rich, so I'm rich adjacent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just bang.
hey, listen. So the Pontiac thing, hey, Chuck, Pontiac is a dangerous city. Sort of like, I think you're from Chicago. That's like saying that if you're not from, man, I'm not finna address that shit. Hey,
Pooh Shiesty. Back and forth with Chuck.
Yeah, that is crazy, ain't it? That is crazy. Well, I rebuke you in the name of Waukesha. Nice try though, Chuck. Hey, listen.
You know you're not supposed to be around me, Chuck. So I don't know why you over here. You gonna get in trouble.
Who gonna get him? Who gonna get him, Henny?
Him boss.
Him boss gonna get you?
Him boss gonna get him.
Oh man, it's terrible. Hey, listen, everybody. Henny, there's never a shortage. When you deal with the world of media, specifically and especially when you are talking about all things urban, entertainment, sports, everything that touches our culture. When you talk about those things, there's never a shortage of things to talk about because niggas are always doing stupid shit.
Yeah, they always into some shit.
I'm saying they always doing stupid shit, but they always into some shit, right?
Yeah.
So we have Pooh Shiesty up on deck, Henny. Where
Dumbest case of 2026 thus far.
Is it though? Is Pooh Shiesty and what's going on with Pooh Shiesty? Is this the stupidest shit or no?
I think that this is right up there with the world's dumbest criminals, honestly, in my humble opinion. Let's hold that. I'll hold that for later on. We'll walk them into.
Well, we're saying thus far.
Thus far, this is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life.
No, not in your life now.
Okay, in 2026. Because I've heard some other dumb shit. But this right here, the dumbest thing in 2026.
Yeah, because niggas specialize in doing dumb shit. It can't possibly even rank in the top 10.
No, not like this though.
Right.
Not like this.
Yeah, when you examine the fact that he went to prison for robbing a motherfucker for a pair of shoes and some weed when he had the number one song in the world,
right,
on the hip hop charts.
Well, now in this case, you have to take into consideration, and it's something that I don't see a lot of people really making a lot of noise on, is the fact that there were 2 people with ankle monitors committing this alleged crime. Okay,
so listen, let's just go right to it, Henny. Let's let the Fetty Gov do what they do. Okay, so we're gonna back up because I know you've been on the case. Hey, Henny gang, be patient. I know she's already talked about this, but I'm kind of slow. I only went to the 3rd grade, so don't bite me, don't fight me. It is what it is. Here it is.
This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from, and the incredible collaborative, investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country, and we are all working together to make our country safer. So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as long as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock, Birmingham, and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are, we will fight every day alongside our partners to make our communities safer. So, thank you.
And we have time for some questions. If you would just identify who you were with and your name would be helpful. Yes, sir.
Kevin Reese with WFAA.
Hi, Kevin.
It may be in the release that you're going to send us, but can you be more specific to who these victims are and studio that you were talking about?
I'll answer the last part first. Yes, it'll be in the complaint, and we're happy to get you a copy of that. It's now unsealed. It was off Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, a music studio. That's what's identified in the complaint. As far as victims go, we won't get into at this time who the victims are or not.
Chase with the Dallas Morning News. Can you describe the injuries suffered by the 3 victims?
So one of the victims, and this is actually in the complaint, and we'll get you a copy as well. There's a photograph of the injury. It looks like there's some abrasions on the neck and arm.
You were still seeking one suspect, you said.
One of the individuals that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
And I wanted to touch on that actually.
We can't hear them asking the questions.
Still trying to get to come in, I guess it's on the press.
I can't hear. I can barely hear you either.
Yeah, so we might as well go ahead and stop because we can't hear
Gotcha.
what they're asking them.
All right. So here's the update. So this just happened today. So we're providing you with the most updated information before we actually get into the actual complaint.
The judge will decide if men charged in alleged kidnapping and robbery involving Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty will be released pending trial. The factors that the judge will consider include criminal history, flight risk, and whether they have means to pay their bail. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live from federal court downtown. Kayla, that hearing, in fact, just wrapped up.
Darcy, is actually still going on, heading into hour 4 at this point. But we were able to get a bond assigned for Lontrell Williams Jr, the father of Pooh Shiesty. The judge ultimately decided she's going to assign him a home incarceration, which she says is the strictest bond she can assign outside of giving him or granting him into federal custody. She said the only time he is allowed to leave his home is to attend his court dates in Dallas, where this case will ultimately be tried. And she said he'll be under electronic monitoring while this all plays out. Now, today was supposed to be a detention hearing for 4 of the 5 defendants who are being held in federal custody in Memphis. They're listed as co-conspirators in an alleged kidnapping and robbery that happened in Dallas back in January. Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty, his dad, and other men are accused of kidnapping and robbing rapper Gucci Mane and others in a recording studio. In court today, federal prosecutors called up an FBI agent who was part of the Violent Crimes Division in Dallas. He walked through the accusations in the indictment and answered questions from defense attorneys. The judge ruled there is enough probable cause to move forward with the case. So then again, at this point, it's unclear how late we'll go into tonight, but we do know that Lontrell Williams Sr., father of Pooh Shiesty, has been assigned home incarceration and cannot leave his home unless he's attending a court hearing in Dallas. We also know that 5th man, Corday Johnson, his detention hearing will be held next week on Tuesday. He was just assigned a public defender today. Darcy?
That is Fox.
So, Dogface, if you check what I just sent you, there's been an update since then to Pooh Shiesty's father. So while he checks that, for those of y'all who don't know, Lontrell Williams Sr., which I'm quite sure everybody does know, but there may be some who don't, that is Pooh Shiesty's father. And what they were talking about was him being released on home detention. And that was earlier today. But since then, there has been an update.
Have you had a chance to review the update yet, Henny? Or no?
I just read the first part of it. Damn, it was the daddy too. Yes. Miss Carter, Pooh Shiesty's father was a part of this as well. He was a part of, I don't want to say the planning, but basically the planning. He was in on it all. Did you get it up?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. You tuned in to Dogface TV. You tuned in to Real Life Unfiltered. Henny is in the building. My motherfucking arch nemesis. My arch nemesis is in the fucking building. Let me see. Okay, all right. My arch nemesis is in the motherfucking building.
If you don't get the document up, I'm just gonna start reading it from back here because you slow as hell.
Man, don't talk about me like that, man. Don't talk about me like that, Henny.
You supposed to move with surgical preciseness and have this stuff ready.
You like that? I refuse to be abused by you. Like that. I refuse to be abused by you. There you have it.
The court document that y'all are seeing that is up here on the screen right now, according to this, the federal judge has moved to revoke the order releasing Pooh Shiesty's father. Now, would you like for me to read the document, or are you?
Yes, ma'am. You know I can't read.
Here we go with this.
You know I can't read.
All right. So this document is an order by the government's request to stay pretrial release order. So it says before the court is the government's notice of motion and request to stay pretrial release. The government states that it intends to file motion to revoke the order releasing defendant Lontrell Williams Jr. on pretrial conditions. The government asked the court to stay the release order until its motion to revoke can be decided. Having carefully considered the notion, the court grants the government's request to stay the pretrial order. On March 30th of 2026, defendant was charged with criminal complaint in the Northern District of Texas with kidnapping in violation of 18 U.S.C. Defendant was arrested in the Western District of Tennessee and on the same day made his initial appearance before the United States magistrate judge. The government moved to detain defendant pretrial reflects that after the hearing and the detention motion, the magistrate judge issued an order setting conditions of release for the defendant, but the magistrate judge stayed the release throughout order through Monday, April 6th. The court orders that the release order as to defendant Lontrell Williams Sr. is stayed until such time as the court determines the government's motion to revoke the release order or until otherwise ordered by the court. The court further orders that the United States Marshal Service to transport defendant Lontrell Williams Sr. forthwith to Dallas Division of the Northern District of Texas, where he shall remain in custody pending further order of this court. The government shall file its motion to revoke by April 13th, 2026. Defendant shall file his response by April 20th, 2026, signed off by the district judge. So he is not released at this time.
In layman's terms, what that means?
They said, nigga, sit your funky ass down. You ain't going no fucking where. Not so fast.
No, I was going to crack a joke, Henny. I know it's not a joke. I was going to say, as fast as he giveth, he taketh away. It ain't funny though, Henny. I know there's plenty of good men who, it ain't funny. I'm not joking. So what that means is, in layman's terms, is that the judge who's originally presiding over the bond hearing portion of this initial situation, he granted Pooh Shiesty's father, Lontrell Sr., bond. And then the prosecutor, the district attorney, filed the motion to stay, which means to hold or to pause that until it can be further reviewed. So that's what happened. So he's not getting out. They stayed until his overall threat level to the community as a whole can be re-examined. And that was, I'm not surprised or shocked by that, based on the nature of what's taking place here, based on the nature of the individuals involved, based on how much money, based on the amount of influence.
I would say that he's a major threat on the community. You sat and you're a co-conspirator on your son's case. Your son.
Hey, Henny, what was he supposed to do?
That's your son. What do you mean? So are you gonna sit and co-conspire with your son?
Yes.
Or are you gonna try to talk him out? See, that's that shit I be talking about with you.
Yes.
No, the hell you not.
Who ain't?
You gonna co-conspire with your son and then be sitting in federal click city right along with his ass.
Hey, listen, Pooh Shiesty and his daddy ain't the only two dumbass niggas in the world. They are an example of the amount of the high level of stupid shit going on in Black America as a whole.
Poor ass decision making.
I'm on that.
The poor ass decision making don't fall too far from the tree. Now does it?
Right. You hear that dog barking? That's me. So listen, all jokes aside, Henny, how do we find ourselves here? How do we see? Because we can talk about a lot of different things, and we're going to talk about all of the components of the case. But we talked about Lil Durk and how Lil Durk found himself incarcerated, right? We've had multiple conversations over the last couple of years about everything from Diddy to Lil Durk to you name it. We talked about it, right? Why is Pooh Shiesty sitting in federal lockup pending charges of robbery? We're going to get into the robbery and about what the feds have and what they don't have as of right now. But how do we get here?
You want my honest opinion or the Henny opinion?
I don't know the difference. Both of them are asshole perspectives. So
my honest opinion, I feel like it's the love of money that got them there. You know why I say that? Because of the rumors that have been going around. You've heard the rumors, just like I heard the rumors, that the reason Pooh Shiesty wanted out of this deal was so that he could sign with Yo Gotti's CMG, and that's supposed to be a multi-million-dollar deal that was on the table, allegedly, because I haven't heard anything that confirmed or denied any of these rumors that were going around. So I have to say allegedly, but if that be true, that would give me more than means and motive for him to want out of this contract. So instead of abiding by the rules of business, he took it to the streets. And Gucci Mane, being somebody who was once in the streets, hard body, he figured we gonna handle this. We can handle it like some gentlemen, or we can get on some gangster shit. And so Pooh Shiesty decided to get on some gangster shit because you're gonna let me out of this contract so I can go over here where the money is greener on the other side. Poverty. And when it comes down to entertainment, the best way to get somebody into a trick bag is to get somebody who will have nothing, who's desperate to get everything, that's willing to do anything to get over there to it. And that's how we got here.
So the whole thing about how Gucci and his wife handled the passing of Big Scar, you don't think that had any
Enlighten
impact? Or
Enlighten me.
The Scar situation it added fuel to the fire?
Enlighten me.
So Big Scar was also signed in 1017. He passed away of a drug overdose after Pooh Shiesty got locked up for this, right?
Right.
And a couple of things happened. One, Gucci Mane, after Big Scar's passed away, he didn't. There was issues about him paying for the service. I don't know how. I have an issue with that part of it, but there were a couple of issues. One is that Gucci Mane requested that to have the chains back, get the chains back from his family. So the family took offense to that because those chains were something that he at least earned because he was signed to you. So for you to ask us for the chains back, it shows in their mind. I talked to several members of Big Scar's family, and they said that instead of being focused on the loss of life, you were focused on retrieving chains that really meant nothing when you look at the fact that we just lost a loved one. So the family were already hyper emotional. And so when Gucci and his wife requested to get the 1017 chains back, his family didn't take too kind to that. And on top of that, there was discussions about the funeral and about Gucci Mane's contribution to the funeral. And they said he eventually did send money for the funeral, but it was a back and forth about what he was supposed to send, how much he's supposed to send, so on and so forth.
So how is this any different than what we hear all the time about how these record labels and these producers don't pitch in when the artists pass away? A lot of these record companies actually have life insurance policies out on these artists, so they get their money anyway. Now, to look at it from a business standpoint, as a family member, I see where you're coming from and I see their point. But from a business standpoint, and you looking at it, you got to remember this is money. He was an asset. He was brought in to continue to produce money for the business. You are no longer here. He probably didn't even pay off what he needed to for the chains. Who knows? I don't know. But I feel like the family expected him to care more than what someone who looks at people as their artists as investments or liabilities.
I don't disagree with you on that. And
so you're asking someone to be humane in a situation where it's business, and it's foul. It's foul because we even seen the same thing with Rainwater, who puts up this facade like he cares so much, yet you're down talking the whole lifestyle that Mo3 lived, calling everybody stupid who live that same lifestyle, and you're making money off of it. But yet, what have you really done for this family? Because all we heard when he was up here with us was, I'm still making money off of him while he's gone. At least that's how I interpreted it.
I mean, he's still managing all things Mo3's career, even in his passing.
Right. So this is business. Now, I feel like that is foul because when you are a person, you would think, given Gucci's background, you would think that when he signs these young men to his label, that he would remember what it was like to get a big break, to feel like you don't have to be in those streets anymore. You would think he would remember that, but obviously he does not.
So let me add this to this. So listen, when it comes to artists, they're rappers, no matter what the genre of music is, when it comes to art, and we've throughout the annals of time, throughout the advent of music, professional music, right? We've had artists pass away.
Right.
Is an artist, is the label or the management company that an artist is signed to, are they responsible for the funeral arrangements for artists if an artist pass away?
I feel like it would be the moral thing to at least pitch in. I don't feel like expecting them to take care of the whole funeral. That's unrealistic. But the moral thing would at least to chip in some type of way, some type of something, depending upon what that artist also brought into your business. What was your relationship with that artist? Because when we get into the Diddy and the Biggie thing, when we watched that the 50 Cent documentary, it was alleged that on the surface it looked like Diddy paid for it, but somehow he was getting his money back off of that. He didn't really pay for it. So, and they were supposed to be like, that's my right-hand man, right? That was supposed to be like his best friend, his man's in them. So when it comes down to this music business or any type of business, not just music, you don't have friends. The bigger you are as an asset, the better they're going to treat you. But the minute that you are going there trying to strip you of everything to continue to keep their money going, look at what happened with Michael Jackson.
Henny, I'm of the opinion that it is not the label's responsibility to pay for a funeral for artists. We talk about what's moral, what's morally appropriate versus what's obligatory. Whatever Big Scar benefited from his deal with 1017 and his relationship with the Gucci Man, I'm absolutely certain that his family benefited from it.
Right.
He wasn't living, he wasn't a man on the island, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. How much did you contribute? Because if you're a mega star, right?
He wasn't
okay, so then I don't expect very much from you as a label. Yeah. But if you're a person who has brought me in multiple millions of dollars, you've made me a multi-millionaire. You've made my business.
That didn't happen.
If you've done that, then I expect you to contribute. And on when you're a small label, let me tell you why I feel like small labels as well, but not so much. Small labels, you need those artists to help to pump your business up. So contribute something. I'm not saying pay the bill.
Well, let me just say this, right? First of all, Gucci 1017 was relatively small when you look at it in its totality, right? However, when Gucci signed the artists, whether it was Fujiano, Pooh Shiesty, Big Star, he co-signed them to other labels, Atlantic, Warner Brothers.
So then he owes those labels money because those labels advanced his label for him to advance those artists.
Exactly
so
right.
recouping those chains go back towards what he's gonna have to pay back. So I don't from a business standpoint.
Yeah, when people are challenging or questioning the appropriateness of Gucci Mane not stepping forward right away to pay for the funeral, they're not factoring any of that into consideration. They're not taking any of that into consideration. They're simply looking at, hey, so listen, if he was signed to Sony or Priority or whatever, would we be expecting for Priority or Sony or a big conglomerate to cover his funeral expenses?
You wouldn't.
We wouldn't. So listen, and that is one of the things that happen when you have labels, black music labels that are ran by figureheads like the No Limits, the Cash Money, the Rap-A-Lots, the Bad Boys, the So Deaths. We put a higher expectation on black-owned record labels than we do on multi-billion-dollar international conglomerate labels, right?
I agree with that, but what my statement,
if he was signed to Universal Music Group solely, well, we wouldn't be having a conversation about.
But again, my statement, I still stand on my statement because it would be the moral thing to do. But again, we're talking about a moralless.
Yeah. So listen,
that would be the moral thing to do. But again, any label, I feel like Sony should have chipped in, or whoever it was that Michael Jackson was signed to at the end when he turned. I feel like they should have put in for his funeral because he made y'all a lot of money. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you made me a lot of money. The least I could do is pay for your funeral. But that's not how this business works. So for me,
the least I could do.
Right. So now for me, when I'm hearing you saying what the family's gripe is, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing those chains were his and we're trying to hold on to them because they're sentimental to us. What Gucci is looking at is I made an investment and I've got to get that back because the investment didn't make its return. Maybe he didn't fulfill the obligations of his advancement.
He wasn't. I don't know what
I don't know who he is.
I don't know what his advance was, and I don't know what portion of his advance went to him and went to his pocket, because we know some advances don't all go to your pocket. The advance goes to production, goes to putting together a project, videos, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
The reason why I'm saying that I don't think that people should necessarily be placing or should have any animosity towards Gucci for not covering his funeral expenses is because he gave him a chance. Big chance, small chance, little chance. And I'm standing on this. If he was signed to a mega conglomerate label like Universal or Sony or whatever, I can't remember a time, and I'm a first generation hip hop head. I can't remember a time when there was a mega conglomerate record label when the artist passed away, was signed to that label.
That they took care of it.
Old Dirty Bastard, for example. The labels that Old Dirty Bastard, he made them more money than they gave him, right?
Right.
They didn't pay for his funeral.
But now I'm going to ask you this. What does that have to do with Pooh Shiesty? Because for me, my question with him...
That's Pooh Shiesty's cousin, and that's his family. And so Pooh Shiesty didn't like how Gucci Mane handled the passing of, like, why are you bickering? Or why is there an issue about some punk ass chains, my nigga? My cousin died. So let's
that was
them punk ass chains.
That was a contributing factor. But now my question is, what was their relationship like while Pooh Shiesty was locked up?
Whose relationship?
Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. What was that like while they were locked up? What happened while he was locked up?
We now know that it was strange. We now know that there was underpinnings and backdoor conversations and backdoor deals brewing. From my information, and I have people close to this whole thing, right?
And that's why I came to sit with you, because I know you have an insider scoop to everything that's going on. So give us that backstory so that we can understand.
Yeah, so the backstory is as simple as this. So, sorry about that. So the entire Memphis is in an uproar, right? Young Dolph's passing, Big Jick's passing, a lot of things going on, right? And so Gucci Man, in terms of how he ran his label, he ran it from a hands-off perspective. He didn't do anything to guide or groom or educate any of the artists. That's why most of the artists who were signed to the old 1017 and the new 1017, they all find themselves in the same predicament. Dropped from the label, broke, dead, or in prison. All of them. From Fujiano down to now Pooh Shiesty, right? They all. And so what happened is that there was an understanding that there was a realization that
why the fuck is Whack?
What the hell is that? What the hell going on? Is that you? Is that me? Is that you? Is that me?
That ain't me.
Ain't me with no bitch ass Whack on there. What the fuck is that, Henny? The fuck is that? Whack hunting us. The ghost of Whack Keisha.
That's my kitten. My kitten jumped up here and hit a button and started playing the video.
So you got me dropping all these windows and that's okay?
Look, I was dropping windows too. Like, where is that coming from? Is that coming from me?
Man, I'm dropping windows like a motherfucker. I'm dropping windows. I didn't close everything out. Fucking with that cat. Who still got cats?
Leave him alone. Okay, leave him alone. We usually sleep. We usually sleep by now.
You want to get the cat. The cat obviously want to be a star. Come put the cat up, Penny, so we can see the cat.
Get off my keyboard. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm trying to. What the hell done happened? Okay.
See, because the cat has something to say about this whole Pooh Shiesty thing.
You can see who he is.
Come on, man. Make the cat a star, man. Come on.
Come here.
Come on.
Can you see him?
You froze up right now. That Metro PCS ain't working right. Come on.
I ain't got no Metro PCS.
Where the cat at?
He don't want to get on the camera. He's not trying to come up on the camera.
He want to interrupt what we talking about, but he don't want to come on camera.
Did you see him? Because when I got unfroze, he was up there. You didn't? Hold on.
No, let's see the cat. Come on. Since he interrupting us, let's make him a star.
And he's still interrupting.
We see.
Can you see him?
Hey, who? Hey, kitty cat. Hey, hold on. Yeah.
I'm sick of you.
Yeah. Now get your ass on. Are we?
You done brought Whack on the screen. You the ops. You getting out today. You know you can't stay here. Let me find out. Let me find out Whack done sent a cat to my house.
Right. So what happened is that so the overall atmosphere in terms of the relationship with Gucci Man and the artists that he signed for Memphis, it was an understanding that that Gucci Man only signed the artists in Memphis so as to aggravate Yo Gotti, to show Yo Gotti that he can stick his hand in his backyard and take out whatever talent that was there, that he could take it. So Gucci Man never invested in anything, in any artist, right, from Memphis, right? And so the overall feeling amongst Memphis and Memphis artists was that you only signed us as a way to aggravate and agitate Yo Gotti. You didn't sign us to turn us into stars in mind. Gucci Man didn't contribute at all to Pooh Shiesty's rise. He didn't have anything to do. Normally when you sign to an artist, right, normally that artist a bigger artist, they'll do a feature with you, do a couple of songs with you, do a project with you, and that project will help boost your overall profile across the scope of music. That's not what happened with Pooh Shiesty. Every song that you can think of that was a hit record for Pooh Shiesty prior to him going to prison, those songs featured Gucci Man. None of them. So he established himself as he established his footprint in the world of music all by himself, and or with the help of Lil Durk with the Back in Blood, right? That was Lil Durk feature. That wasn't a Gucci Man feature. So I have it on good authority that Pooh Shiesty felt like that Gucci Man was using Memphis and Memphis artists to go against Yo Gotti. And it was pointed out that Gucci Man did nothing for those artists. And then when Big Scar died, that was like to add insult to injury based on how he handled the whole Big Scar situation. So how he handled Big Scar's situation was it exacerbated the feelings of aggravation that Memphis artists were feeling with Gucci to begin with. Where you at? What you doing?
I'm still here.
I can't see you.
Because I didn't drop down the audio because I keep freezing.
What?
See, look at how I'm looking on the screen. I'm looking crazy out here. I look like I'm asleep on you.
You look normal to me. That's how you always look.
Look, see, I'm all delayed. And stuff. I don't know what's going on. I think it's my computer.
Pay that Comcast Xfinity bill.
First of all my bills is paid. Okay, my bills I pay. Thank you.
Okay.
What it is I was already live, and then Dogface, he decides, at the last minute every time.
Doggy. It's the favorite thing that he would do to blame Dogface.
Man, Dogface. Let me tell y'all about Dogface Colorone. Okay, let me tell you about. He will call me at 9:45 and be like, "Henny, what you doing?" Yes, I'm in the bed. True. Get your ass up because we about to go live at 10 o'clock.
That is true.
I'm in the bed.
No, you're not anymore.
I got my bonnet on.
Not anymore.
I am rubbing my feetsies together. I am not trying to get up.
So listen.
I say, tell me the day before, doggy. Okay.
Before.
And then you tell me the day before. What happens? What happens?
Ain't no day before. Ain't none of that day before stuff.
But what happens when you do tell me the day before? You be like, all right, we're going to go live tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Right.
8 p.m. at 7:45, I'll be sitting here looking at my clock like I don't see it set up over there on Real Life. So we ain't going. I know we ain't going today, and we never go. See how you do me?
I don't like how you are putting that. So listen,
then stop doing that.
All of Memphis was disenchanted. All of Memphis hip hop scene was disenchanted. Yo Gotti was working behind the scenes, explaining to Pooh Shiesty and the other Memphis artists who were thinking about having a relationship with Gucci Man. He was explaining how they were being used as pawns in Gucci Man's game. And, and Yo Gotti and his staff was pointing out how Gucci wasn't doing anything for the artists. He wasn't doing anything to help buttress, support, expand, or enhance their overall career. So that was the issue. So Pooh Shiesty already felt some type of way prior to Big Scar passing away. And then when Big Scar passed away, when you look at how he handled his cousin, his blood cousin.
That added fuel to the fire.
That added fuel to the fire, absolutely. So when Pooh Shiesty came home, all you gotta do is listen to the First Day Out song, his FDO song. He shouted out Yo Gotti. And he said things that everybody in the world could take as sneak diss, as shots as Gucci Man. I don't think Gucci Man actually listened to First Day Out.
Probably not.
When Pooh Shiesty dropped it, the FDO. Because if he listened to it, he shouted out Yo Gotti. I think that he submitted the song for distribution. I don't think that Gucci Man actually listened to the song, because had he listened to that song, there's no way he would let the song come out. No way.
Well, see, and that solidifies what the rumors are about him wanting out of this deal to go with Yo Gotti. That would definitely add on top of all of this. Like, makes sense to me.
It definitely would. So let's get into the actual affidavit. So this is the criminal complaint, right? And so for people say, well, has the indictment been unsealed yet? This is the criminal complaint. People say, well, what's the difference between a criminal complaint and an actual indictment? So let's go to there first, just so people can know, right? And we'll read right from there, right? So a criminal complaint is a sworn statement by law enforcement establishing probable cause for an arrest, usually initiating a case. An indictment is a formal charge issued by a grand jury after reviewing the evidence. Complaints are often for swift arrest, while indictments are for formal felony charges. So that is the difference between a criminal complaint and the actual indictment. The indictment, as of yet, has not been revealed, right?
Right.
Right. So we're going to the criminal case. So I have the actual criminal case here. Let's go here and let's read from it. So, because I found a couple of things troubling when I examined the actual criminal complaint. One, so the language. If you haven't read the criminal complaint itself, you are under the impression that Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, his father, all entered into a conspiratorial agreement to force Gucci Mane to sign off and release Pooh Shiesty by force, by coercion, by kidnapping, by hostage taking, by gunpoint. The gunpoint shit, I want to move that to the front of the line. Now, in the actual criminal complaint, if the general public believes that Pooh Shiesty and his crew up straps on Gucci Mane, beat Gucci Mane ass, took his jury, and forced him to sign off that motherfucking contract, freeing him of his deal. That's what the general public believes. But that is not what this criminal complaint says. I want to make sure we separate fact from fiction, because oftentimes, I'm not talking about podcasters, because we have some good podcasters, good bloggers, good YouTubers, but oftentimes they don't really read and review the actual document. The general public thinks that Pooh Shiesty and his crew just upstrapped on Gucci and his security, so off-duty police officer or retired police officer, his cameraman, personal chef, what have you. That's not what the criminal complaint says. There are no gun charges in the criminal complaint. When we talked about armed robbery, right? They never used the word armed. They said robbery. But there are suggestions that there were firearms involved in the so-called hostage taking and robbery. But
hold on, because they don't even say strong arm. They don't even say aggravated.
They don't describe
it. Just say kidnapping and conspiracy to kidnap. Now, based off of the conversation that you and I had, this is my standpoint on it. The complaint is just their probable cause to arrest them.
Yes.
We won't see what all of the final charges are until we actually get the indictment. So This is like just the beginning of the case.
Yeah, because we talked about a supplemental indictment. At this particular situation, so people are looking at this complaint like it's the actual indictment. It's not.
No.
It's just the criminal complaint, what they use to initiate the arrest, illegal proceedings in this particular case. So we're not waiting on a supplemental indictment like some people have said in the YouTube streets, because we haven't even been exposed to the original indictment yet. So we don't need a supplemental yet, because we don't even have the indictment per se. So this criminal complaint doesn't say anything about how the robbery was supposed to have taken place. It says that Big 30 stood by the door, preventing people from leaving the studio. Doesn't say anything about, it says that there was kidnapping involved with this whole thing, but it doesn't say how what the parameters of the kidnapping were. Doesn't say how you established that it was a kidnapping. It doesn't say that, because a kidnapping is, you don't have to move somebody from one place to another place in order for it to be kidnapping against their will. You can get kidnapping by simply not allowing somebody to leave from a place that they are at.
Right.
That can constitute kidnapping as well. So my thing is, there's no language about firearms in this situation. Are we expecting that to come down in the indictment, or no? Can't hear you, Henny. Can't hear you. You get your mic off. It's on your end. Your end, you muted on your end. Yes, on your end. Nope.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. What I was saying was there are firearms mentioned in the complaint. You get into breaking down the events that happen. But when it comes down to the description of the offense, there's no firearms in there. But when you go down, when you get to the probable cause and you start reading the overt of the kidnapping, that's where they start mentioning the firearms and all of that stuff is in there. But it's not at the top of this this paperwork where on the criminal complaint it describes the offenses. It only says kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. But once you read that overt act, that's where you start hearing about the firearms, the restraining of people, the robbery, the taking of the money, the choking, like all of that is in there.
Okay. So can you hear me, Henny?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
So here, yeah, I can. So let's get into the actual probable cause. Now we have 9 defendants in this case, right? So I'm going to read the overall overview of the kidnapping case, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to comment. It says that on January 10th, 2026. So this is way back in January. Now, mind you, we're into the first week of April. So that's a full 3.5 months prior to this. It says on January 10th, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., victims who will be referred to throughout this affidavit by their initials or collectively as the victims, RD, MM, BP, were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located on Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas. This location is within the Dallas division of the Northern District of Texas. Now, RD, MM, and BP. Now, we're assuming that RD is Roderick Davis, right?
And it is.
And it is. Okay. So it says at approximately 1 p.m. on January 10th, 2026, the victim flew into Dallas alongside RD's Gucci Man's head of security, hereinafter referred to as CW, and other security officer, hereinafter referred to as TD, for a scheduled business meeting between Gucci Man and suspect Williams Jr., Pooh Shiesty. Williams Jr. is a hip-hop artist known as Pooh Shiesty and has been signed to a recording contract for RD's Gucci Man's record label 1017 since approximately 2021. Gucci Man and Pooh Shiesty were scheduled to meet because Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from his contractual obligations. Williams, aka Pooh Shiesty, had asked Gucci Man to come to Dallas on this date so they can meet about the business. At approximately 1:45 p.m., CW, his security, and TD, and the victims arrived at the scheduled meeting location, a music recording studio located within a larger office building. When CW and TD and the victims entered into the office building, they realized the recording studio owned by the individual hereinafter referred to as JN was closed. While they waited for the studio to open, the 5 went to a liquor store to purchase liquor and red Solo cups before returning to the studio. Williams Jr. father, Williams Sr., called JN multiple times on the day of the meeting. At approximately 2:53 p.m., JN answered the phone and learned that Williams Sr. was attempting to book a recording studio for the afternoon for Williams Jr. and RD to record music, right? So they were recording music and discussing the terms of his contract. At or around 3:15 p.m., JN opened the studio for Gucci Man and his security contingency and his people. Investigators later collected and reviewed surveillance video captured by another business located in the same office building on the same floor as the recording studio, which shows Williams Sr. outside the office building. So listen, Henny. So I'm not going to get into reading the entire complaint, but listen. Gucci Mane made a statement the day after this supposed or alleged robbery, kidnapping thing happened. And Gucci Mane pointed out and acknowledged that he was in fact robbed. And then he acknowledged that Pooh Shiesty and his cohorts are the ones who did it. True.
Right.
My question to you is, within and of itself, Gucci Mane making that statement, acknowledging and confirming that he had been robbed, he had been assaulted, and that he had been forced into signing a contract releasing Pooh Shiesty from his contractual obligations. I'm asking you here and now, does that statement make Gucci Mane a rat? And if so, why? Cat gets your tongue?
No, because, you know, you and I had a conversation and some things came to clarity. You know, at first I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, no, you know, well, first I said, according to the rules of the street, you snitched. Then I'm like, well, he's a civilian now. He's not even in the streets. But as we discussed, there are things that once you do those things in the streets, even if you fall back and you live a civilian life because of the lifestyle you led, if you give a statement, if you say, yes, this is who did it, identified them, you snitched. Based off of Gucci Mane's criminal history, the very thing you were doing to other people, you now snitched on somebody for doing to you. You snitched. He can never be looked at as a civilian because of what it is that he has done in the past.
And we had this conversation, Henny, and the conversation was, can a street person, can a street nigga, can he unstreet himself and assume the role of a civilian? If I'm a street nigga, but I ain't doing street shit no more, I ain't did street shit in 10 years, is there a time period of me not engaging in street activity that will then qualify me for civilian status, which would mean if I do decide to cooperate with law enforcement, you can't call me no rat because I've been living the life of a civilian? Is there a time frame that makes a person,
depending upon your lifestyle? Depending upon your lifestyle, what were you in the streets doing? Because you can't be a part of organized crime and then say, I don't want to be a part of organized crime no more, and then go live your life off in the country and you can just denounce what you were once a part of.
But why, Henny, listen,
because at the end of the day, here's the thing. If that's a part of who you've been,
right?
Like Gucci Mane, you robbed people, right? He was a robber.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was.
So how are you going to live the life of a robber and then turn around and snitch on somebody for robbing you?
That's a valid question, Henny. That's a valid question. So we haggled about this. I had a conversation. And I had a conversation with CEO King Munchie. I said, hey, Munchie, can Gucci specifically, can he ever qualify himself? Can he ever re-civilian himself? We talked about this. And he said, it all depends on what you did. If you were scamming, we don't look at scamming. Man, you ain't really no gangster. No way, you ain't no street nigga. You just doing street shit. So whatever. But if you killed somebody, robbed somebody, or sold a Schedule I narcotic, heroin and crystal meth and cocaine, ever, then you can never be a civilian, no matter how long you have been criminal behavior free.
It's the way I found out.
And that's it's crazy. It's crazy because we just talked about how we give different standards for major record companies than we do black-owned or black-led record labels. We don't put the same scrutiny and hold the major, the Universal Music Groups, the Sony, the Warner Brothers. We don't hold them to the same standard that we hold the black-owned, black-led record labels to. We don't put them in the same category. We put a lot more on us than we do on them, and they richer than us.
Listen, I just feel like this. If you've been in the streets, if you live by those codes, and you were up there, that's who you are. That's who you are. And I know that there's a person in the comments that doesn't understand what I said. You were out here putting your pistol in people's faces and robbing them. Now, when somebody puts their pistol in your face, you're sitting and saying, yep, that's him.
Hey, Henny, I'm
What's
up
the idea of that? Like, come on.
No,
What's not clicking?
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me?
Not you.
Oh,
Not
well,
you. The person talking about get the fuck out of here. That shit sounds suspect. Like,
who said that way?
Because you don't understand what we're talking about.
Right. So listen. So
you mean to tell me I can go out here? I could be selling kilo after kilo after kilo, right? And then I decide I'm gonna fall back and I'm gonna live a civilian life now. I can now be a snitch.
No,
I wasn't a snitch all that time. I'm now going to become a snitch.
Well, you were not snitching when you was enjoying. Hopefully, you wasn't snitching when you was enjoying the fruits of your illegal or ill-gotten gains. So it is, of course, it is. Listen. So we talking about nigga shit here. We ain't talking about no motherfucking scientific ass shit. So that's
and this ain't no movie shit, nigga. This is real life shit right here.
Yes, but see, listen, I'm gonna tell you something though, Henny. The fact that people do think like that, it tells you about the shift that's going on in Black culture in terms of what's being accepted or what people are willing to accept. People are willing to accept people who were in the streets, right? And the issue is not, listen, let me speak for Henning. We're not saying or suggesting that because you were a criminal, you were a street nigga and you stopped. We ain't suggesting that you can't keep on engaging in street behavior, street activity. Exactly. We're saying that that you have an obligation and a responsibility if you jump in that shit to play by the rules that were established. And we're also
hold on. Let me say this. Let Henny speak for herself for a second.
Okay.
If you are now going to go live a civilian life, then that means that you are not engaging in any street shit where you would be put in those predicaments. Gucci Mane, obviously you still surrounding yourself around situations, places, and things where those rules are, people going to look at you sideways, whether you want to believe it or not. People are going to look at you sideways when they're reading this complaint and they see that you said he did it. It don't matter if he sat down and gave a long, extensive statement. It don't matter if he sat down and he told A to Z. The fact that you did the lineup, you pointed somebody out, people are going to look at you as a snitch because of the lifestyle that you came from. Mm-hmm. And that's a fact.
So now the question is...
Now here's the difference. Here's the difference for me. Now, if he and his wife, they were chilling in their home and somebody ran down on them in their home, that's different. But you're dealing with some street shit with some street niggas. There's some real shit about to go down. And the way that he's moving, you signing these artists to get back at your God, you still playing games. You still playing games with street niggas. So now those rules still apply to you. If you were living your soft civilian life, this would not matter. This would not happen. If you were conducting your business on the up and up, this would not have happened. You don't hear nobody running down on other music execs like this. You don't hear nobody ran down on Tommy Mottola with guns strong arming him out of their contract and shit. No, most business deals go like this. You went out your contract, you trying to sign to this person, they have to buy you out your contract.
Simple. That's simple as shit. That's simple. You gotta compensate me for what I know I'm about to lose. So listen, watch this. So here's what I'm saying about Gucci Man. Hey, Gucci. For all the people who are saying that by humbug, for all the naysayers who say, hey, listen, you want him to just be a street nigga forever. No, we don't. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm sure that's not what Henny is saying. No. What we are saying is that, hey, listen, when this whole thing first happened and we first became aware of the possibility of this happening, you had motherfuckers saying, oh, no, not Gucci. Gucci wouldn't have went with no shit like that. Gucci gonna keep it in the street. Ain't no arrest being made because Gucci is street nigga. That's what they were saying.
And you got your heart broke when this paperwork came out.
Yeah, but not those same niggas talking that Gucci, bro, they was cheering. No, Gucci a robber. They were talking about his pedigree, his history, and everything. Not Gucci. Fuck y'all talking about. Come to find out, the next day after this shit happened, this rat bastard had made all kinds of statements. And now he's taking the Instagram, talking about he ain't making no more statements. You already made the statement, nigga. We don't need you no more.
The only statement that needed to be made.
Yeah, you identified, you acknowledged that you were a victim in this whole sordid affair, and you pointed out who did it.
But here's the crazy part of it all. He didn't even need to say anything. He did not need. If you read this, then you know he didn't have to say anything. They had two people with ankle monitors there. Two. I found that out while I was reading the paperwork on my live. Because I'm reading, and then I hear such and such electronic monitor. I'm like, wait, electronic monitoring. I know he don't have an ankle bracelet on too. You got two people that have a government leash around their neck, one of whom it's alleged was arguing with their PO right before the crime happened. Allegedly, Pooh Shiesty was on the phone arguing with his PO because he thought he had clearance to be where he was, and the PO was telling him to go back home. So you didn't need to say nothing. They had GPS, license plate scans. They had AirTag and AirPod at locations. You didn't need to say shit.
If didn't need to say shit was a person,
it would be a Gucci man.
It would be a Gucci man. It didn't need to say shit. So, because there was theory floated that, well, Gucci, because listen, these niggas, until that paperwork dropped, they were like, it wasn't Gucci. He had an off-duty or retired police officer. So that's, even though he was retired or off-duty, he's still bound by the confines and constraints to tell the truth and only the truth. And they had the footage from the video and the footage from the studio. The footage from the studio told the story for him. So he had to admit it, or else he would be perjuring himself. That ain't what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Gucci Man, is this another, this is going to be petty of me. Is this another blow for the city of Atlanta? You got Lil Woody, Wise Tail. Is this because you know I'm going to be petty. So don't look at me like I'm not. I'm a petty ass nigga. Is this a representation of Atlanta? Don't look at me like that.
I'm not answering that question.
Why not?
Atlanta is a beautiful place.
You
First
cannot
of all,
refuse to answer no questions on this show. That ain't how that
he's
go.
not in Atlanta no more.
It don't matter. You cannot refuse to answer a direct question put to you on the YouTube streets. When you start doing that? No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't do that. Where you getting that from? You create new rules like Gucci Man. You create new rules. You can't do that. Gucci Jr.
Oh hell no! See now you done went low. Okay?
Yeah, I
That's
always
a
go
little
low.
too low.
I'm a low down, dirty ride dad. Yeah, I live in the low. I didn't go low. I live in the low. What are you talking about?
See, they said Gucci from Alabama, so Alabama got to take the hit.
Don't start that shit, that Alabama ass shit. Don't start that shit.
I'm outside. I'm with you. I'm outside. Said it's a blow for Alabama.
The fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here with that Alabama ass shit. Gucci Man is an ATL Zone 6 East Atlanta representative. If that's the case, Jeezy ain't from Atlanta. Oh,
my lawyer is in the chat.
When they was, man, go on here with that.
My lawyer's in the chat. Public figure Boogie, my lawyer is in the chat, and he said to plead the fifth, so I am pleading the fifth on this question.
Yeah, that's right, Boogie. That's right, Boogie. You better, because I got something for your ass. Then, hey, listen, whenever you do some hoe shit, rat shit, pussy shit, goofy shit, in Atlanta, you ain't from Atlanta no more. Oh, he from College Park. Oh, he from Macon. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That nigga's an ATL representative. And when he was on top of the world, nobody wasn't saying he wasn't from Atlanta. Get on with that. They trying to pick and choose now. It's called selective gangsterism.
Well, that's been going on. And I'm not even going to hold you. When I first read the complaint, I was hoping still, even though people were saying, nope, it's in the complaint. Gucci done snitched. I was even saying myself, I'm like, okay, so far we only have BP and MM talking. We don't see RW yet. We ain't seen RW yet. And then boom.
Here come RW.
RW identified Pooh Shiesty in 30, knowing Pooh Shiesty in 30. I'm like, God damn, like you. Because I was saying, well, who's to say he said anything? It could have been the other people. They were civilians. They would have snitched. One of them was an off-duty officer. He definitely snitched. Why does it have to be Gucci? And I'm not a Gucci Mane fan. Listen, let me just tell you that. I'm a Jeezy girl.
Oh, we got to bring that Jeezy shit up here. Watch this. Boogie said he got a question, but watch this. So let me read this for you, Henny. So listen. So line item 11 and 12, it says, RD told Williams they could reschedule their studio session, but Williams Jr., Pooh Shiesty requested.
You skipped the part.
Say again?
You skipped the part. You skipped the part where he was outside arguing with his PO. And that's why Gucci said we could just reschedule.
Okay. Got the photos here.
Right there on line 10. The victims overheard Williams Jr., Pooh Shiesty, talking on his cell phone, potentially with a probation or parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out for rec time. From what the victims could hear, Pooh Shiesty was informed that that was not the case and he needed to return immediately. Pooh Shiesty agreed. Pooh Shiesty was wearing an ankle monitor, leading the victims to believe that Pooh Shiesty was on house. Gucci Mane told Pooh Shiesty they could reschedule their studio session, but Pooh Shiesty requested to speak with Gucci Mane privately in the attached recording room. So you outside arguing with your PO.
Mm-hmm. It says that Gucci Mane told Williams they could reschedule their studio session, but Pooh Shiesty requested to speak to Gucci privately in the attached recording room. Gucci Mane agreed and entered the recording room with Williams Jr. and Williams Sr. and Wright. So who is Wright? Is that Big 30?
Yes.
Okay. Meanwhile, MM and BP remained in the control room with 6 other individuals and continued to watch the football game. BP offered to share the liquor they purchased with the target suspects. and at least 2 accepted grabbing red cups and making a drink. I want my red cup at. Because shit, I ain't the only one who can drink no red cup. Right. Inside the control room. In the control room, for people who don't know, that's the booth. That's the booth. You in the booth, right? Williams Jr. produced purported contracts. Produced purported contract termination or release papers from a bag and told RD to sign. When RD, Gucci Mane, declined, Williams Jr. became agitated and the pair started to argue. MM and BP couldn't see inside the recording room and initially believed RD and Williams Jr. Pooh Shiesty to be discussing business, but as MM saw the conversation intensifying, he texted CW, who was still in the music studio lobby. As the argument inside the recording room ensued, Williams Jr. instructed Wright to get his bag. Wright complied, leaving the recording room before returning with a bag. Williams Jr., a.k.a. Pooh Shiesty, then pulled what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol from the bag and pointed it at Gucci Mane, demanding again that Gucci sign the contractual release papers. This is all per Gucci Mane. RD complied.
It ain't say that is all per Gucci Mane.
Well, this per he right there. He ain't say it ain't true.
But they ain't say Gucci Mane sat down and told us the accounts of the events. You got MM and BP doing a lot of talking too. Now, come on,
this is crew.
He done did some talking, but his crew is the ones that's talking.
No, he's a rat bastard. He's a filthy rat bastard.
Get the comment off my face. People can't see me.
No. You know how he a rat bastard? Because this shit is in a criminal complaint. He was interviewed the day it happened and the day after it happened, right?
I don't know.
He was in it. He made a statement the day after. We know that.
I don't know.
We know that. So listen, here's what I'm saying. So with MM and BP and ABC, XYZ making all these motherfucking statements, they're talking about something that happened to Gucci Mane. You don't think federal law enforcement officials asked Gucci Mane if
what had happened
was true?
Yeah, they asked him what had happened.
And you don't think he said, see, what happened was he pulled a chopper out on me. I was forced to sign the contract.
Guess what? He still didn't have to say anything.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He still didn't have to say a word. You know why?
Why?
See, dog, you already read this shit. He didn't have to say a word because 30 recorded Gucci being forced to sign the paperwork.
What?
It's in the work.
He recorded? How you know he recorded it?
Because I read the complaint.
What did he do with the footage? Put it on Instagram?
It's on his phone.
And somebody got his phone, it was in the phone?
It's evidence.
Man, go on off my motherfucking
Right here, line 4. Hold on. Let me take over for a second. So we're gonna go on down to line 13, and you're gonna listen to the musical stylings or the audio version of Henny.
Okay.
At night.
Come on with it, Henny.
Okay. As the argument inside the recording studio ensued, Pooh Shiesty instructed, we already read that part. Okay. Gucci Mane complied, signing the paperwork for Williams Jr. Pooh Shiesty. While Pooh Shiesty's father and 30 stood by, Gucci Mane was not allowed to leave the recording room while he was held at gunpoint by Pooh Shiesty. There's your kidnapping. 30 pulled out a cell phone. Do you see that on line 14?
I see it right here.
Which is right. Pulled out a cell phone and purported to record Gucci Mane signing the paperwork while being forced to say that he released Pooh Shiesty from their contract. After the release was signed, Pooh Shiesty took Gucci Mane's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash. After Gucci Mane signed the contractual lease paperwork, Pooh Shiesty provided the paperwork to his father and asked him if the paperwork was good. Pooh Shiesty's father advised that the paperwork needed to be dated. So Shiesty then forced Gucci Mane to add a date next to the signature. As Gucci Mane and Shiesty's father and Wright exited the recording room, the remaining subjects, Waters, Rogers, Johnson, Glover, McDaniels, and Gibson, produced handguns or AR, AK style pistols and began to demand property from BP and MM. There's your guns. BP was pushed onto the couch in the control room, while an individual known to BP as Como Damn Fool, part of Pooh Shiesty's crew, later identified as Rogers, searched his pockets and stole his wallet. BP's chain and necklace bearing the moniker 1017 were stolen from his neck by another subject known as Glizzy 375, later identified as McDaniels. During the robbery, McDaniels repeatedly threatened to shoot BP for moving, but Pooh Shiesty instructed McDaniels not to. BP further identified an individual he knew as Baby Slime 375, later identified as Johnson, as being involved in the kidnapping and robbery, and that during the control room robberies, Johnson possessed a firearm and held BP and others at gunpoint. Both MM and BP identified an individual they knew as KD, later identified as Waters, as also being involved in the kidnapping and robbery, possessing a firearm and holding them at gunpoint. MM was choked from behind to the point of nearly losing consciousness during the kidnapping robbery, resulting in scratches on his neck and wrist. MM robbed his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple other high-dollar watches, Apple AirPod headphones, and his wallet at gunpoint by Glover. MM confirmed his Louis Vuitton bag, AirPods, and wallets each had Apple Air tags, a locating tracking device. Shall I proceed? Why, there was no need to say anything at all, Gucci. You got air tags, you got cell phones, you've got ankle monitors, you've got outside surveillance footage, you've got footage of you being forced to sign.
Hey, Henny, you ready for my assessment of this?
I'm listening.
The only thing they're gonna beat them niggas to the penitentiary is the headlights on the bus they riding in. So the question now becomes, because Gucci Mane he was on live and he's saying, well, I ain't cooperating with the police. I ain't going to court. Do they need him to go to court after?
No.
All that shit about you ain't going to court, nigga, you already provided enough substantial information. You already provided enough, you and the people you were with already provided enough details.
Oh, but there's more, because they didn't even need those details, because they also had the license plate scans from the vehicles. Pooh Shiesty's father rented a vehicle in his name. One of them drove their father's Hellcat from one state to that state, and they committed this crime. And then he left the car and reported it stolen.
Hey, Henny, I ain't got time for this foolishness.
This is why I said this is the dumbest shit in the world that I have read in 2026. This is the dumbest case thus far.
Well, we already know that Pooh Shiesty is not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh, but he ain't even in the shed.
About 5 years ago, when he had that hot sauce, this nigga said he's not even in the shed. You say that?
That nigga was left in the yard in the rain. He ain't even in the shed.
So he outside is a rusty ass little pair of pliers.
He's rusty and dull as fuck.
I ain't got time for this shit. Hey, Henny.
Here's my thing, okay? Here's why he is a big dummy.
Okay, hold on. Watch that. Watch the hitting. This person said, "Dogface, stop it. You don't know, and we don't know what Gucci has said. It's in the criminal complaint what he said. What are you talking about? It's in the criminal complaint what he acknowledged. Go read it up. I'll email it to you. Where's your email, Nino Black? I'll email you. I'll email it to you right now.
Hi, Nino.
Hey, Nino. I'll email it to you. Is that part of the Henny gang?
Yes, Nino is from my side of the tracks.
Hey, Nino, Henny will email you. Drop your email in the chat, in the comment. And Henny will email you the criminal complaint now where it articulates what Gucci said and what Gucci acknowledged. See, there's a couple of different things going on here, right? Let me tell you how this law shit work. How this law shit work, it is what you say and it is what you acknowledged. Yeah. What you acknowledge, right? You're not saying it didn't happen. You're not saying I don't know what the fuck he talking about. You're not saying it didn't happen like that. You ain't say Pooh Shiesty wasn't involved with that. You ain't saying that you get the wrong impression of this. So in this situation, what you don't say is just as important as what you say, and vice versa. He says, Dogface, it is not 100% fact that Gucci Mane acknowledged. Let me help you out.
Well, I can tell you where it is. It's on page 18.
This is a
page. Well, hold on, Dogface. I got you. It's on page 18, line 38. And it says, identification of the target suspects through Instagram. Williams Jr. at Pooh Shiesty, BP, and RD, Gucci Mane, all personally knew Shet Pooh Shiesty by both his legal name and the name under which he performed, Pooh Shiesty. At Pooh Shiesty is a verified Instagram account, and the individuals depicted throughout the account matches Williams Jr., and RD, Gucci Mane, described Williams Jr. as wearing a black Nike Shiesty mask, black hoodie, and black pants during the offense. An online search of an online search of Pooh Shiesty matched the individual depiction through at Pooh Shiesty. So that means that Gucci Mane told them what Pooh Shiesty was wearing the day that he was allegedly robbed by him. That means he talked.
You
Go ahead, doggy. I'm quiet. I'm done.
Oh, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. Listen, are we not clear? Because if we learn, no need to apologize, because all this shit is rolling out. Salute to you. Salute to you. No
Hold
need to
on. And in case and in case there's anyone else in here that didn't don't feel like that was enough, Big 30, line 40.
Hold on.
MMP. Yeah, pull it up so the people can see it that I'm not faking it. Line 40. Right. At CEO Big 30. BP, and RW Gucci Mane. All identified right. I don't need to say anything else after that. All identified right, which means identified Big 30. Now, what I will say is after Pooh Shiesty and Big 30, there is no more Gucci Mane identifying anybody. But the fact that he identified Pooh Shiesty and told what Pooh Shiesty had on and identified Big 30 as being present during the offense, that's the other half of that. He told.
Hey, listen, I thought, what was the purpose of us living through the YSL fiasco? I thought we understood what telling was, what telling wasn't, making a statement. Didn't y'all hear Big Slime say, I ain't make no statement at all. I ain't acknowledging nothing. Do your job.
But gave his phone number to the police? Yeah. We heard that. Yeah.
You gotta-
Yeah.
So call me anytime. Call me. Call me anytime. Anything you want to know, you can call me.
He was on that little way, Mrs. Officer, Mrs. Officer.
Hey, JoJo Dixon said that's telling it all day and night. JoJo, all day and all night. What you say? He say, stop dog face 1017 forever. Shout out Big Gucci. Barton Gamble. Bless your heart, Barton. Bless your heart, Barton. He's gonna say JoJo's. Why you? What, we want to
How
keep
he a
you
rat?
up. How he a rat? Because he's saying what you saying ain't right. You said what is it? They say Gucci spinning the cops. He's not snitching.
Like YSL Woody. Is that what you're trying to say? That he's pulling the
no,
YSL Woody.
He making it juicy.
Oh.
He making it juicy by acknowledging the shit they say a nigga was wearing when they robbed him. He was this nigga wearing the same shit. That's making it juicy, ain't it? And hey, Tina Washington said, so Tina Washington says, hey, listen, I don't think it's considered snitching. It was business, not street. Hey, Miss Washington.
I don't know any Wall Street brokers or bankers or top executives that go around putting AKs in other people's faces, calling that just business. That's street business. When you put a firearm is involved, that's street business.
I think Miss Washington is saying Gucci went there for business.
And
he was greeted by a bunch of fucking thugs who went to thug shit. So Gucci was he was on civilian time. So he's not locked into that shit.
He's on civilian time with somebody that he knows feels a way about him after his cousin passed and the way that he was handled. He's going in there as a businessman with somebody who he signed to get back at Yo Gotti. He's on business timing with a street nigga that just came home from the feds. I mean, listen. I'm gonna say this, maybe, because I just forgot an important element of all of this. We forgetting an important element of all of this. Gucci may have went in there thinking that he was handling business, because who the fuck commits a crime with a goddamn ankle bracelet on?
I'm sure he didn't think he was going. I'm sure.
So he probably did. But my question is, when you dealing with street niggas, you gonna go in there without a hammer on you? You gonna go in there without armed security? You traveling without armed security? Where was your security guard's firearms? Your people ain't packing. Nobody around you packing.
Hence the reason why you have retired or off-duty police officers, because they can travel from state to state with their firearms. Hence the reason why you have them. So Tina, I get you, Tina. Tina, like you just answered the question. Tina said, I thought Gucci went there for business, and these things introduce violence to it.
Right.
So if he tells what transpired, because he was acting in the capacity of a civilian that means that he is. No, Tina, I'm sorry, Tina, but he got to get it, Tina.
No, because at the end of the day, the way he conducts his business still has an element of street in there. There's still street in there. Uh-oh. Am I frozen or is Dogface frozen? Because he frozen and you not moving and we can't hear you. But Tina, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, my point is he should have known he was going into a hostile situation given the nature and the history between he and Pooh Shiesty. So my thing is, you still supposed to be protected, because it's not like he was going up into the offices of Sony or RCA or any of that. You meeting him in some type of knockoff studio because the building that they were in had other businesses in it. So it wasn't even like it was an actual official building that was just a studio building. It's someplace that somebody's renting a spot to make it a studio. You see what I'm saying? So there's still elements to all of this that he still should have been protected, but none of that negates away from the fact that he identified people.
In other words, I wouldn't give a fuck if a pink elephant jumped over the moon and landed on a skateboard and did the Tony Hawk backflip 360 turbo. Nigga, I thought we understood that we ain't. I thought the YSL trial, it really exemplified. It showed us, civilian and non-civilian, what was and wasn't supposed to be happening with this kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did we learn nothing from the YSL trial? Nothing.
I think the YSL trial went over a lot of people's heads, honestly, because it should have. Because that case literally put what snitching is and what it isn't on the forefront. It brought it bubbling to the surface. So we should have learned. Okay, so this person says, no, it actually was one of the most popular studios in Dallas. Well, there you have that. That would make it even more stupid, in my opinion, BMO. Because if it's a popular studio, then why wouldn't you assume that there's cameras everywhere around you? That makes it even worse. Pooh Shiesty's in. It makes it even worse. And I keep trying to wrap my head around the fact that not only did Pooh Shiesty have an ankle monitor on, one of his homeboys in the crew had an ankle monitor on where he was reporting to Mississippi for vehicle, for what was it, carjacking or stealing a car. I want to know who came up with this plan, because this was the dumbest thing ever. They were tracked down by every which way that you could think of to be traced and tracked. They were. Cell phones, vehicle GPSs, hotel registries. They even went as far as to track these boys down on the Greyhound bus to find out where their tickets were to. And they tracked them through their phones. So again, they don't need nobody to really tell them what happened, because according to this complaint, they've already mapped it all out through their movements. They tracked them through the city. They were able to see this vehicle was with this vehicle on this day at this time. And then after the incident, this vehicle was with this vehicle. And these vehicles were outside of this place. No, I don't rock over there, Nino. I stay to myself and in my little circle. I didn't see what happened over there. Dogface, I did send you something now. I think that was the TMZ what you call it? I think it was the TMZ surveillance footage video that I sent you. But right. So far, what we've already covered what the feds have said. And I'm glitching again, so I'm gonna drop down close my camera. I don't know what the hell. My computer just refuses to charge tonight. We already read the complaint. We've already listened to what the feds had to say. We talked about the father, played the video of the father who was supposed to get out. And then we've also read where the feds blocked that and said, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we've seen we've seen Say Nash's update. The last update was 7 hours ago, where he talked about how the judge postponed Pooh Shiesty's father being released on ankle monitor. We've seen that. We talked about that. Actually, we actually read the actual motion.
Hold on. Nino Black is saying, I hear you, Henny. Apparently, he's saying the dad was trying to stop it. if you read this complaint, there's no way in hell you could sit back and say that the dad was trying to stop anything when the dad was complacent to the whole thing. The father is the one who went to Staples, and they were able to track him down through surveillance, okay, through cameras outside of Staples, inside of Staples. They were able to track down that the father pulled up to the front of Staples, went into Staples, and printed out the release form. And they even have a copy of the receipt that shows he was in there the same time that they saw him on camera. So at the end of the day, he's the one that had him, he printed out the paperwork, and he had him get Gucci to put a date next to his name. So for me, that sounds crazy. And nobody in the complaint is saying that the father was trying to stop anything. The father was being held hostage. It wasn't what that sounds. Have you read the complaint?
No, so Henny, so
what?
I don't know, Henny. So listen, so I think that SETI is trying to leave room for deniability for
backtracking later.
No, for deniability for. I think he's trying to provide some context for a I didn't know what was going on, had to stop it thing for Pooh Shiesty's dad. Hey, SETI, I've spoken to SETI extensively about this subject. Based on the elements, based on what we see and what we hear, there's no way in hell that you can try to, because there's no language in here about him trying to stop anything. Maybe we're missing.
Exactly.
Maybe if there would have been somebody there saying no, stop, this is out of control, it's out of hand.
I think somebody would have said something. I think somebody would have said,
one of these witnesses would have said, hey, his father tried to stop it. So I think SETI is trying to provide some plausible deniability for Pooh Shiesty's dad. I don't think it's gonna work. And Gucci Man, hey, listen, Gucci, whether you go to court or not, there's enough evidence, and you provided enough context, and your statements were very effective and very efficient. And we haven't even seen the actual physical statements yet. They're just paraphrasing what he said in the criminal complaint. Wait till we get the actual statements. The statement's gonna break the internet. We know they recorded Gucci. We know it. We know he probably asked him to write it down. Probably not, but he recorded it. Wait till we hear these motherfucking jail phone calls.
Well, here's the thing also. Everybody is doing a lot of speculating on the government's probable cause to arrest. Mm-hmm. That's all this document really broke down to. Because I'm not going to lie, I asked Dogface to tell me from his own expertise the difference between the complaint and the indictment. I told you I like to educate myself and then put that information to good use. That's all this is. Was they're basically saying this is why we arrested him. This is what we're arresting him under for now. And these are the chain of events. And this is what was said to us. This was what was confirmed. This is how we came to this conclusion to be able to arrest them. We have not seen the actual indictment that's going to tell us what they're charging them with. Y'all got to think back to the Big U case. Okay, we got the complaint, then we got the indictment, and then we got the a superseding indictment. We got 3 different documents. And when I was going through those documents, I was showing you how a lot of shit had changed between the documents. And the one thing that I will tell you that we need to look out for with this, based off of the Big U case, is we need to see, do these firearms end up coming and playing a role in the actual case? Because just like in the Big U case, there's a lot of talk about RW, right? But he's not charged with murder. Yet they kept talking about that. But he's not charged with murder. Go figure. So let's see what comes out when the indictment comes out, and not just spin, because we got enough information to not have to spin a narrative.
Henny, listen. So this is a criminal complaint. This is a charge sheet. This is what they use to take those guys off the street, to take them off the proverbial chessboard. When the indictment comes down, the indictment is going to have more information. When the bill of particulars, which is basically like, from a federal standpoint, a bill of particulars is like the discovery pack.
Mhm.
The discovery pack comes down with the actual statements. And this is why I waited a couple of days before I said anything about it at all. Because I was waiting for the actual indictment to get handed down so I wouldn't just have to articulate or try to base my response or try to base what I thought was going on based on the charge sheet. Because the charge sheet doesn't spell out what we know is coming, right? It doesn't spell out what we know is coming. What we know is coming based on what we have here, based on the witness statements. Gucci Mane didn't hold it up. Gucci Mane was he was forthcoming. He was honest and open about what transpired.
Get off my computer screen.
That girl, Henny's in the building.
Right.
Henny, close it out for us, Henny. Come on with it.
We closing out. We didn't get to talk about Meech's interview.
Oh, you're right. You're right, Henny. Let's switch subjects.
Hold on one second. I just want to say this. I don't have anything personal against Seti Nash at all. I don't know him. I've never crossed paths with him in the internet streets. He's never said nothing about me. I've never said nothing about him until today. My only thing to him is I would not be disclosing to the public that I've had any communication with anybody involved in this case. I wouldn't be disclosing to the internet that I know anybody involved in this case at all. I wouldn't, because it's still ongoing right now. So that's my only thing. But other than that, I don't knock nobody for what they do. So yes, let's get into the big meat of it all.
I'm gonna let you go first, because they already don't like me in Detroit. You go first. My ear already itching when you said Demetrius Flannery's name.
So I don't know if any of y'all have watched the interview. It's Big Meech's first interview since he came home. And he sat down. It's about an hour and some change long. And he basically gave us nothing. He gave us nothing.
Nothing.
He relived his glory days, of making it rain. He explained what making it rain was, and basically for him, for everybody who did not catch it, basically all you ladies that think that they was throwing them ones and them fives at you, and that was just such a yeah. No, when he said, I already know, because most hustlers will tell you this. You cannot do shit with them ones and fives. Everything must be 20 and above, and some people only want 50 and above. So you got to do something with them ones, fives, and them tens. He left out them tens because sometimes they don't want them tens neither. So that's considered to be trash. So they were throwing trash, giving back to the strippers. Shout out to the strippers that up their life on the BMF money. What I did not like was that he tried to discredit third-party cooperation, because that has been something that has followed him, surrounded him, with all of the Tammy Cohen stuff, right? So he tried to say, basically it doesn't exist or whatever, but we know that it does. Okay. Dogface, I didn't get a chance to actually be there that day, but I did review it. Khalifa Bush sat and explained to us about what third-party cooperation was from her firsthand experience. She was even incarcerated for running a business that connected third-party cooperants with cases. Okay, so to say that it's not a thing, it is absolutely a thing. The thing is, there's no way to really find out about the third-party cooperation just based off of public records. There would have to be something that opens that up and cracks the case open. So you can't say that something doesn't exist that does exist to try to clear your name. Also, I did not see him clear up anything from what Blue Da Vinci has said. I didn't see him clear up any of the allegations of him telling Jay Diggs that Blue was a snitch, or sit back and clear up the story timeline that Blue Da Vinci has given about when he informed him that Tammy Cowens was no good and he continued to work with her. There was no clearing up of anything. So for me, I feel like we got nothing.
You feel like we got nothing because we got nothing. The podcast is called This Is Not a Real Podcast. So what are you expecting to get? That's like going to a Cadillac dealership, and the name of the Cadillac dealership is This Is Not a Cadillac Dealership. That's the equivalent of that. You sitting down with a motherfucker who a fanned out groupie. You can't get no real substantive. If you think we don't know what the fuck we doing, what the fuck you think a nigga whose podcast is called This Is Not a Real Podcast?
A real podcast.
What? You gonna get nothing.
I agree, Nino. He tap danced. He tap danced around a lot. He didn't even speak about him and his brother. Okay, he didn't even speak about Terry. Now, for me, Terry's interview was more informative than Meech's.
I agree because he at least he answered questions that interview is only as good as the interviewer, right? And I call it a push interview because you're sitting there as fans of this man.
Right.
You're sitting there as fans of his work.
Well, I mean, you can't discredit the urban legend of it all, right? Because BMF, when they was doing it, nobody had did anything to the level that it was being done. Even though a lot of stuff, once it was broken down, was misinterpreted by people because people thought BMF, because you knew what they did, they were advertising that they were D-boys, but they were actually advertising a record label. So there's some things that got misconstrued. So he's like a living urban legend for dealers, right? But at the end of the day, even me, I have my opinions. When you sit down to interview somebody, if I were to interview Meech, my personal opinions have to go out of the window, and how I feel personally goes out the window, because my profession, my job at that point is to execute the job, which would have been to give him a chance to talk about what he wanted to talk about, but then ask him those questions that the people want to know. That's what it's about.
Hold it fast. Roosevelt Young Jr. He says, you're the same one that was with Vezo at the high school. Correction, bitch ass nigga.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't with Vezo at a high school, bitch ass nigga. I was booked to address the honor roll students at River Rouge High School, which is downriver Detroit. I was booked on my own. He was booked on his own. I wasn't with him, bitch ass nigga. I walked out there and spoke first, bitch ass nigga. Liar. Did you say I'm a liar? I wasn't booked. I know who booked me. Who booked me was the instructor of the advanced student business program. His name is Bruce Tony, bitch ass nigga. You got something else you want to say? I wasn't booked with Vezo, bitch ass nigga. He was booked on his own. I was booked on my own, bitch ass nigga. You got something else you want to say? Don't come back to the East. Oh, y'all bored. I was just there. Why didn't you say that then? What's your real name, Roosevelt? What's your real name? Pussy. Fuck you mean don't come back to the East. What you bitches gonna do about it? You trying to troll me?
The crazy thing is, even JoJo
saying, time out, bitch. I'm gonna put your bitch ass on time out. Hold on. Boo. There you go, bitch.
Now, JoJo Dixon saying that Meech said that Blue told. Meech has never himself spoken on Blue ever, as far as him snitching. In that interview, he spoke highly of Blue. or in a different capacity of Blue. But he has never outright said that he was somebody who told. And I really don't even want to get into that conversation with y'all because y'all don't want to hear what I gotta say.
He's home.
Because
he's home. He's off paper. He's off. Well, he's off anchor monitor. He can move around wherever he wants to. He lives in Miami. Blue Da Vinci owns property down there. Blue fuck with Detroit people. He fuck with Detroit people. If he wants to answer.
No Detroit people have ever said, and I have talked to Detroit people. Shout out to Detroit. I get love in the D. Whether you like me or not is your personal thing, but I do get love in the D. All right. So much love that I was the person who interviewed Cuddy. Me. But y'all don't know that though, because a lot of my stuff gets overlooked. But regardless, I spoke to him multiple times. Anyway, Jay Diggs asked Jay Diggs doesn't mean nothing. Meech had opportunity after Jay Diggs to say something about that over the phone, and he didn't when he did an over the phone interview. Meech had time to sit down during that interview with It's Not a Real Podcast or whatever their name is. No disrespect to them. I just can't remember the name right now. Had opportunity to address that situation. Meech has never himself come out of his mouth publicly and said that. So that's hearsay.
And guess what? He's free now. One of the most pressing questions that people have for him outside of the whole Cuffy saga.
I said Cuddy, I meant Cuffy, my bad.
No problem. And listen, he's home now. He's free now. Y'all go to his Instagram page. Nothing's stopping him from talking about Blue Da Vinci now.
And he didn't even talk about Cuffy.
At all.
With everything that went on, because you have to think when 50 Cent threw that out there and we all jumped on it and I started picking apart and who was Tammy Cohen's and all, and we Cohen's, when we was all breaking this down and we got to the Cuffy of it all, it went up a whole nother notch. There has been nothing said, and he feels he doesn't have to say anything because his reputation should speak for itself. No. There's some things that need to be cleared up out here. Now, some of y'all are okay with it, but there's some things that need answers to. So, JoJo, you say the streets know. So let me ask you this: who did he snitch on? Tell me that. If you could tell me who Blue snitched on, I'll let you win this back and forth right now.
We'll let you win.
For now. Because what you don't want, you may not know me, but I'm that girl Henny, and you don't want me to go dig and pull shit up because I will dig. Me and my team will sit and dig, and I will show you everything. So who did he snitch on?
They won't be able to ask you that question. They won't be able to answer that question.
Because no. I'm gonna tell you this. There was one more person arrested after Blue. One more. See, Blue thought he was the only one. He was the last one. But he wasn't. There was one more. And he has already spoken publicly and taken down what J-Dog said. Is that his name, J-Dog?
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, he was the one who said that they were all at the prison and Blue was this and da-da-da-da. And he's the one that told it. He's the one that got homeboy cuffed up. He came out and said that's not true, that Blue did not snitch on him. You know how he knows who snitched on him? Because it's in his paperwork. It's in his paperwork who snitched on him.
Hey, listen.
And one Blue.
Let's do some shout outs, man. Boston, Massachusetts is in the building. Birmingham, Alabama's in the building. Detroit's in the building.
Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to Boston.
Yeah. Alabama's in the building. Man, listen, light the motherfucking chat up. Where you from? We're gonna shout you out. Where you from? What set you claiming? How you do that gang bang shit? How you do that, Henry? I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't a gangbanger. I just hung around some of them.
It's opening day. It's opening day for Portsmouth, VA.
Hey, shout out to VA.
Hey, they getting that bag down there. Plug me in with the Migos.
And listen,
in the building, man.
Let me say this. I don't have anything against anybody. I just dig and find what I find. Okay. So JJ, JoJo, don't feel no type of way. I don't even know you. Shout out to Little Rock, Arkansas. Arkansas.
Cleveland. The land. What's up, Cleveland? What's that soul food restaurant I went to Cleveland down there a couple of years ago? Real good soul food spot down there. ATL in the building.
You got Atlanta's up in here.
Portland represented in the building. Henny gang.
Hey. Why you gonna hit the dogs on the Henny gang?
Mix it up a little bit. Richmond, Virginia in the building. What's up,
Shout
Richmond?
out to Alabama by way of Detroit. Okay, West Detroit by way of Alabama.
ATL in the building. What's happening, man? Listen, we got 500 motherfuckers in this bitch. We're gonna shout you out what hood you from, what city you from, what set you claiming. Long as you in with YSL, we gonna shout you out. I had to slip that in there. I don't know why.
Shout out to Wisconsin.
Where Wisconsin at?
Right there, listening from Wisconsin.
Are you gonna ever cover Desiree Perez? 6 Mile Illinois in the building.
I can cover Desiree Perez. I mean, I wouldn't mind because it is Rock Nation. That's a big
story.
Shout out to everyone that grew up in Detroit and worked their way to the burbs. I know that's right.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, what it is. Where you from? Put your hood in the chat. We're gonna shout you out.
So what else we talking about, doggy?
Man, you give me one. Throw some out there. Throw some shit at the wall. You got plenty of good issues. Blueface got his ass touched up.
Now, there's been a lot of rumors out there that said that he did not get knocked out of that ring. What say you on that?
I got glasses and my glasses work. I pay a lot of money for these glasses. I watched him get his ass beat. Right? I mean, what you want me? He lost. He got his ass beat. It wasn't all that shit about blaming Aiden Ross and all this. Nigga, whatever Aiden Ross was talking, listen, in order for Aiden Ross to be right, that means you would have had to have thrown the fight, nigga, because you lost.
Right.
You lost. Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn in the house.
Shout out to Brooklyn. That's what I was saying. I was expecting so much more, but you know what it is? He really thought that boy was something to play with. He underestimated Chibu. They said he was overweight and all types of things. So he thought he could go in that ring and play around. He wasn't really training seriously. You know, I did a video on his training and showed how he was sitting up eating at his King of Crabs, eating seafood boils with all types of seasoning and butter on it, eating Wingstop and McDonald's and Burger King. And yeah, you wasn't training properly. But I feel like since he's been home, something is off with him.
Something
was off with him before, but something is off with him now. He's not the same Blueface, true indeed. Something is off.
Chico got it all on the line, man. Whoa, look at him. He's a dirty fighter. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He fight within the rules. He's a dirty fighter. He fight within the rules. Stop it. Focus. Stay focused.
Good body. Hi, Blue.
That's a good setup. Oh,
wow.
Let's go. Let's go. Blue got set up.
And Blue got that hell of a... Let's go, Chibu.
Shout out to T-Man.
I think Chibu is going to go further than him.
He looks comfortable.
Cardio-wise, yeah. Blue's going to get tired next round. Watch.
The hell you think did them? You think did them blue bandana short sleeves? He didn't see him pretty good.
Yeah,
Stay focused.
we got the setup.
Blue does look good right now. I will give you that way. Oh, shit. Oh, he's emoting.
Getting a little cocky.
Nephew, super smart. Super smart. Rampage know about that. That's how he whooped him out with the first hand.
Oh, yeah.
I'll witness.
Wow. Blue's just sitting there talking shit, smiling.
There you go.
He alert though. Chief alert.
And Rampage, who do you get from?
Yeah, there you go, Poppy. Yeah, that's that county
That's
home take
That's
spot.
really close, but I think
Get a night two as well.
We going up first. Yeah, we going up first. Then Taboo afterward. Now, Mr. Jones first.
Mr. Jones got food? I ain't get shit today.
Me neither.
I flew in from Antigua.
Set him up. Set him up, nephew. Yeah.
Here we go.
See that weak point.
Let's go, Chibu. Cardio wins.
Come on, Chibu.
If he drop, Chibu. Look at him. He's dirty fight. Look at him. Laying on him.
You got 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Come on, Chibu.
Shit.
He's hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt. Stop the fight.
Let's go. 40 seconds. Let's get out. Let's get out.
Knockout.
Let's get out.
Chibu.
Come on. 30 seconds left. Get out with it.
No.
Bro.
You gotta go for it,
bro. Keep your tits up his back. Check him out. You don't want no shit. Come on, bro.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. 18 seconds. There we go.
Blue face is
14
sneaking
seconds.
knockout in.
14 seconds.
Sneaking knockout
Free
in.
deep down inside. Get up. Oh my God. Free deep down inside.
Blue face is sneaking knockout in.
No.
Come on, bro. Why he
It's too late now.
Anybody associated with WAC 100, their fate is already sealed. I don't name me somebody who's ever maintained any longevity as it specifically relates to being successful in anything.
Nobody.
Nobody. That girl Henny, my name is Dogface Calderon. This is real life, unfiltered. Bye, Henny.